Thank you, Coca-Cola Beverages Northeast.
Thank you! Thank you for believing in kids like me.
And me.
And me.
Thank you, Dan, Susanna, and Mark.
Wow, I can't believe we're actually back in this room after 3 years. So thank you so much for being here. Woo! Welcome to our 21st annual Foundation of Friends Breakfast. What I love about this event is we're bringing family, friends, community, our kids, their families, and just celebrating the work that we do each and every day. So again, thank you for being here. I want to take a moment to pause and say thank you to our amazing staff and trustees. Can you please stand and let us give you a round of applause for the amazing work that you do each and every day? Come on, stand up, let's go! Woo! They're not shy. I don't know why it was so hard to stand up, but that's okay. I also want to thank our sponsors. We can't do anything without our community partners. So Coca-Cola Beverages of Northeast, thank you for being here and thank you for your continued sponsorship. M&T Bank, thank you for your sponsorship. Baker Newman Noyes, thank you for your sponsorship. Keller Williams, Cohen Investments Advisors, Elliott Hospital, Heritage Help and Heritage Home Service, Nathan Wexler Accountings and Business Advisors, Catholic Medical Center, and thank you to our friends at Manchester Radio Group for promoting this event. We have special friends there at WZID. Yes. A special thanks to Heartwood Media, who helps us tell the stories of our members and their families. And a big shout out to Boston AV for helping us with the audio and visual today. Today, our theme is You Belong. Today, we're celebrating how the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester provides a sense of belonging to all the children that walk through our doors. Because of friends like you, we know when Boys and Girls Club come into our place, our children know there's a sense of belonging, that they belong, they're safe, this is their environment, but they're second home. And when you make an investment and support us like you have year after year, is allow us to create these amazing programs that you're going to see today. We're so grateful for the support for our families. I also want to thank our speakers today that are joining us this morning. Mayor Joyce Craig, Catherine Cabal, Zainab, Lauren, and Chantel, and a board member, George Zemas, will be speaking today. So I think it's time to get this started. I would like to welcome Zainab, one of our incredible high school students, and also our 2023 Youth of the Year. Let's welcome Zainab to the stage. Come on up, Zainab. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Zainab Baugh, and I'm the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester 2023 Youth of the Year. The club has been my second home for as long as I can remember. The staff here nurtured a spark of greatness in me that I couldn't yet see in myself. I'd like to thank every one of you in this room for being here this morning and supporting the club that's played such an influential part in my life. I wouldn't be the person I am today without it. Each one of you makes success stories like my own possible. At this time, I would like to introduce a longtime friend of the club, Mark Ferncourt, the president of our presenting sponsor, Coca-Cola Beverages Northeast. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Zainab, for that kind introduction. And let's congratulate the 2023 Youth of the Year, Zainab, one more time. As Diane said, it's so great to be back here together in person, to see this room filled with so many folks, great supporters of the club members coming together to support this unbelievable event. So we're really pleased to be back here. I'm also pleased, Diane, that video that you showed at the beginning, it is so much better than the 20-year-old video, Coca-Cola video that they were showing to us and we were going to present earlier. So that was a great testament from the kids, so thank you so much for that. We are proud at Coca-Cola Beverages Northeast. We have been a presenting sponsor of the Foundation of Friends Breakfast for all 21 years. It's a partnership that is incredibly important to ourselves and our team, and we're really pleased and honored to be a part of this great event. So our Coca-Cola business is an incredibly global business. We're very fortunate. Our brands reach throughout the entire planet. We do business across the entire planet. But at the end of the day, it's also a very local business, We have the honor and the privilege of being in communities here in New Hampshire and really across the entire planet. And with that comes a responsibility for us to earn that belonging, to be part of those communities which we operate in, and our system takes that very seriously. Last week I was at an event where the president and chief financial officer of the Coca-Cola company, John Murphy, he shared an update, a state of the business update. It was a simple 4 or 5 page highlight. And the heading on each of the slides was, refresh the world and make a difference. So it goes without saying, we're in the beverage business. Our goal is to provide great tasting beverages for all of our consumers everywhere we operate. But also make a difference is an important part of what our mantra is at Coca-Cola. And looking to do our small part to support you, Diane, and your amazing team in the work that you do each and every day at this club to help create brighter futures. You are really the ones making a difference, and we're proud to be a presenting sponsor and be partners with the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester. So thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and we look forward to a great breakfast. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Lauren to the stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Lauren. I am a 7th grade member at the Boys and Girls Club. I currently serve as the Secretary of Torch Club, BGCM's leadership group for middle school members. Torch Club has taught me how to communicate my thoughts and ideas, organize events, and be a leader within my community. When I first step into the club, I feel like I'm at home, I feel safe, I feel heard and loved. Leaders like our next speaker make the club experience possible. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the Mayor of Manchester, Mayor Joyce Craig.
Good morning, and thank you, Lauren. I want to take a minute to recognize Lauren. She and the other club kids are why we're here this morning. As you heard, Lauren's a 7th grade student. She's very involved in school and part of the Boys and Girls Club Torch Leadership Group. She's confident, bold, and always willing to help and go above and beyond. I often say that our kids are our future, and I feel like we're in really good hands with Lauren and the other club kids leading the way. And what a great way to start the day celebrating the Boys and Girls Club and the 21st Annual Foundation of Friends Breakfast. The Boys and Girls Club is a valuable resource to our youth, our parents, and our entire community. I love visiting with our youth, whether it's in school, in our community, or at City Hall. And virtually every time that I'm talking to students here in Manchester, I meet someone who is part of the club, and they love every minute that they're there. And I can think of no better testament to the outstanding work of the Boys and Girls Club than through those who you are serving. The Boys and Girls Club is a welcoming place that provides activities, services, and a space that meets the growing needs of our youth, and in turn creates a sense of belonging. Basketball, video games, Zen Den, STEAM labs, homework help, breakfast, dinner, and so much more. And I do have to admit, on my visits to the Boys and Girls Club, that Zen Den is really appealing. By helping our kids achieve their best, the Boys and Girls Club is helping to strengthen our community by mentoring future leaders and providing them with wonderful role models. The staff and volunteers are amazing, and they provide a safe, caring, nurturing environment for our kids. So like Diane, I'd like to give them a round of applause for all that they do for the youth in Manchester. While I wasn't a club kid, you've always made me feel welcome. So whether I was at Camp Foster playing baseball or trying to play baseball, or reading and handing out books with Miss Karen in the bookmobile, you've always greeted me with a smile and often a hug, and I have to say that's always made my day, so thank you. For over 110 years, the Boys and Girls Club has been a safe haven for youth in our community, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the dire need to have a Boys and Girls Club on the West Side. So I wanted to make sure that we all in this room make this happen. I want to thank Diane for her leadership in the Boys and Girls Club. You've been a wonderful partner to the city, as I mentioned. All of the services that you provide our kids are invaluable. I want to thank everyone here for supporting the Boys and Girls Club and all that you do. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep those hands together as we announce Chantel to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I love the opportunity that all of you have given, not just me, but the whole Boys and Girls Club. Hi, my name is Chantel. I'm an 8th grade member of the BGCM and the president of Torch Club. Thank you. I love expressing myself in the Performing Arts Center. It is a space within the club where I feel safe and I have loved learning to be creative throughout movement, singing, acting, and more. I give so much thanks for these huge opportunities, and I give so much thanks to Diane, to the staff, for really giving not just me, but my friends at Boys and Girls Club this huge opportunity that I'm really happy. And I'm just so happy. I've been in Boys and Girls Club for about 5 years, and it's just been the best experiences, watching Boys and Girls Club grow, watching it excel, and watching it do so much more, and just helping me and other families throughout these years. Our next guests are some of my peers from Boys and Girls Club, here to perform the Pine Loco from the African Drumming Program. Enjoy.
It's a great pleasure to be here for this breakfast, and for over 20 years at the Boys and Girls Club, we've had West African style drumming and dance, and I love the motto, diversity makes us stronger, which is the motto for the Boys and Girls Club, and this is a pure example of this. And I do want to acknowledge my very good friend, Theo Marte, who has been appointed by the governor as the New Hampshire laureate artist laureate. So he's representing the state these days, and he has choreographed this from the country of Ghana, this rhythm and this dance and this song called Pine Logo.
Diane Fitzpatrick back up to the stage.
Wow, wasn't that incredible performance? A great way to start the day. It's all about being the art of gratefulness today, and I want to thank Randy and Theo for leading our African drumming group. It was remarkable, and teaching our members about this beautiful music and helping them discover beautiful cultures. So another round of applause for Theo and Randy. So many of you know I've invited you to come to this amazing breakfast to have this delicious cold cereal. So let's enjoy our coffee and cereal, and we'll get back with the program in a few minutes. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's Chris Pappas here. Good morning, everyone. It's Chris Pappas here. I want to thank you all for being here today to support the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester. The programs that the club has been offering kids in Manchester for more than a century have opened doors of opportunity, strengthened our community, and in some cases have literally saved lives. When a kid walks through the door of the club or heads off to camp, they feel right at home. They feel supported and valued, and they feel a sense of belonging. And as we face a growing opportunity gap and challenges ranging from addiction to mental health to food insecurity, the work of the club has never been more important. Your participation in this breakfast makes a big statement about the kind of community that Manchester is, and your support of this great cause is a down payment on a brighter future for everyone who calls Manchester home. So thank you to the staff, the board members, and most importantly, the club kids who offer us all hope and inspiration for the future. Thank you.
As the president of the club's Keystone Leadership Group chapter, I have the privilege to admire and learn from this next speaker. A former Keystone president herself, Catherine Kabbalah understands the true impact of what it means to be involved at the club. Catherine and I share the privilege of being shaped by dedicated mentors, the opportunity to be involved in impactful leadership development, and the value of career preparation, and so much more in our involvement at the club in Keystone. As the current Youth of the Year, it is my honor to introduce a former Youth of the Year, Catherine Kabbalah.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Zainab, for the introduction, and thank you all of you for being here this early. I feel immensely proud to stand before you as the speaker of the 21st Foundation of Friends Breakfast, which marks my 17th year of association with the club. I have attended this event as a club member, alumni, and club staff and community leader. I must admit, while the last few years where I attended by me in my pajamas at home, it feels great to be back in person. Today, I stand before you as a testament to the incredible impact the Boys and Girls Club has had on my life, and I'm honored to share my story with you all today. I worked at the club for 9 years before I moved on to work as a counselor for the city of Manchester, and currently as a SAP counselor for the Manchester School District. I first came to the club as a middle school student. I didn't talk much, but I wasn't shy. I was often just uncomfortable with my surroundings, so I'd rather stay quiet with my thoughts and ideas. Coming from a large family and having close friends with mental health concerns, I was told not to talk about it. As we all know, there has been a long history of stigma of mental health concerns, so naturally, I held a lot in. Not because I was ashamed, but I wanted to protect the ones I love. As most teens, I was just trying to find my way and find my people. The adults I met when I first came to the club were so authentic and trusting. They often told me the truth, even when I didn't want to hear it. But they also did not hesitate to have fun, play karaoke, and dance around with us kids. It wasn't only the staff that impacted my life, it was the board members as well, and the community partners that I interacted with on a regular basis. I will never forget the 13-year-old Catherine who watched the board members walk through the club in suits the second Tuesday of every month. Wow, the desire to be that cool as a professional and cool as an adult became my goal. These board members became more than someone I literally looked up to, but became mentors and people I could rely on. One board member even drove me to college tours when the time came. The genuine conversations and support I constantly received from the club was motivating enough to create a life I wanted for myself. I had so many laughs, cries, and life-changing experiences at the club. The teen director at the time, Hashira, made sure we were all included in opportunities at the club. As the quiet girl, this was great because I was able to be included in opportunities that I would often not be included in. With all my involvement in the club, I started to feel more comfortable and like I belonged. Before I knew it, I was president of the Teen Leadership Club Keystone, flying out of state for my first time, having TV interviews, making friendships with peers across the country, going on college road trips, organizing all-nighters and fundraisers, and being named 2011 New Hampshire State Youth of the Year. Shout out to Zainab. I know it's a tough journey to get where we are, but you did it, and I'm so proud of you. All members were included in these experiences, regardless of race, income, mental, and physical abilities. We were and still are so different. However, we all embrace each other's differences. Not knowing it at the time, but it is clear that these opportunities were slowly building my self-confidence. The club's impact on my life did not end there. As a first-generation college student, I continued my work for the club and learned the importance of being a mentor to others. I saw the need for teens to have individual behavioral and mental health support, so Diane and my supervisors supported the position and is still a full-time position at the club today. My supervisors constantly put me in positions that opened many doors for me. Even if I doubted myself, they would say, "You got this. You're a rock star." These experiences, combined with my family values, had shaped me into the confident professional and person that stands before you today. I'm not afraid to walk into a room. I'm not afraid to come up with innovative ways to support youth, young adults, and myself in environments that where my ideas may not be youth, young adults, and myself in environments that may not support my big idea. I decided that the impact the club has had on me, I wanted to have the same impact on youth today. During my time as a SAP counselor at Central High School, I co-created a student advocacy committee with my best friend and also former club member Taylene. This program allows students to empower their voice and advocate for positive change in their community. I've also implemented the district's first student wellness room for all students to utilize as a safe place to let go of the pressures of school and personal obstacles they may be facing. Mayor Joyce Craig was recently at Central, and I remember when she walked into the wellness room, the first thing she said was, "Wow, this looks like a Boys and Girls Club." I clearly understand that there were and still are gaps of representation within my community, especially within the mental health field. I graduated with my master's in clinical mental health in 2020, and now I'm a few months away from opening my own part-time private practice counseling youth who struggle with discrimination, trauma, and mental health concerns. As I joined the 3% of Black therapists and the 1% of biracial therapists in the country, I fully understand that I may look different in some professional settings. However, the club instilled in me that different is powerful, and different can make a huge difference. If it wasn't for all the experiences I was exposed to during my 15 years as a club member and staff at the club, I'm sure I wouldn't have the advocacy skills and the confidence to speak up for what I believe in. In 2007, I needed to walk into the club to meet Hashira, my fun, constantly laughing teen director, Antonio, the crazy club director, Ken Neal, the camp guy, Steve McMahon, the super cool board member, Shirley, my former colleague and partner in crime, Natalie Barretto, my first club mentee and now club staff and nurse, Jatara and Taylene, 4 club members and my forever best friends, and the hundreds of other staff, members, and community members that I met along the way. I needed these relationships, I needed these interactions, and I needed this sense of belonging to push me out of what I was trying to say hidden and be loud and proud of who I am and what I believe in. To give you a glimpse of the relationships I've built at the club, I was recently married in 2020 to my amazing supportive husband. Due to different circumstances, some of my family and friends were unable to attend my wedding. But you know who could? My club family. On my wedding day, the staff and members I grew up with were there to catch my bouquet as I threw it in the air and stood beside me as I said I do. When I found out I was pregnant with my beautiful son in 2021, the club was the first person I told. They gave my son his first gift. Of course, it was a future club member bib. It is great to see my son interacting with the same mentors and members that I grew up with. The club not only made me and my friends feel like we belong, but now my family. Before I leave you today, I would not be the mental health advocate without thanking you all for being here, both adults and youth. Since the pandemic, there has been a 50% increase of depression in youth and adults. Due to the statistics, it is known that people in this room are impacted by those numbers. Whether it be a friend, family member, or yourself, getting out of bed, coming here, and being present for our future leaders makes an immense impact. You're all heroes, and every single person in this room belongs here. Thank you for listening, and since I have the platform to do so, I want to thank everyone here who has played a part in creating opportunities for me, my friends, my mentors, and mentees over the years. I think I can speak for all past, current members when I say, as we have grown and continue to grow, we watch the club grow as well. New staff, new buildings, new members, new community partners, but always the same feeling when we enter the building, the feeling that we belong. Thank you.
Moving into the city and having children and having to be that working parent where you don't have the flexibility of being home with them. It's a big sigh of relief for both of us, for my husband and myself, to have the Boys and Girls Club be that place that I know that my kiddos can go to every day. It's not a big bad world inside the Boys and Girls Club.
100% the club is an extension of our community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We have Braden, Amaya, and Isabella. 12 non-mates. They're our grandkids. We legally adopted them.
It's just a safe place for our kids to come, and we don't have to worry. That's the main thing for us. They know exactly where the kids are.
Yeah, and they know exactly what they like to do.
The kids are able to do a lot of things that I can't do for them.
They really love all the staff here,
Braden wants to be a leader. They want him to be a leader, which makes us happy.
Travis stays at Jewett Street for the Boys and Girls Club there. With Ava being in middle school, she does do transportation from the middle school to the Union Street Club. Ava does a program through the Boys and Girls Club called 603 Writing Club. She's kind of quiet and to herself about certain things, and this writing club has opened her up, making her reach into herself and pull out what she's capable of.
603 is the place where I can write poems freely in the way I want.
She's an older, student here, so they have asked her to help the younger ones to do that, and that also gives her a sense of belonging. When Travis goes to the after-school program, they're helping him with homework. It's not something that has to be a 6:30, 7 o'clock at night type of thing, and there's always people to help both of the children at both locations. Mina has become an important part of our family, being that both of the children were with her for 7 years. Travis's birthday during COVID everything was shut down. So we did one of these, you drive by, hang out a sign, honk your horn, give him a display. And Mina was one of those people, for her to take time out of her personal day to come make my son feel important was amazing. We're not just another number. We are, family and friends to the Boys and Girls Club. I've never had to use it, but I know that if there was ever an issue or, coming down into hard times, I know that the Boys and Girls Club is somewhere that I could reach out to and get a sense of belonging and help from them.
They inquire if you have needs, like if you need funding for a camp, or if you need funding, I got awarded a grant for the rest of the school year so that I don't have to pay, which was extremely helpful. And then they have financial aid for summer camp. They let you know that they have these things available, and at Christmas time, they help with that.
They know who we are. You need this, you need that. Oh, did you get that? They really look out for everybody in this place. We're so thankful for that. I can walk in that door any day and they greet me in there. Pretty nice to feel wanted and received. So I'm one of 10 kids, so I know how it feels, you know.
It's a sigh of that you're bringing your kids here and they belong and will again be taken care of and enjoy their days and be fed and loved and cared for. I'm glad that the Boys and Girls Club was an experience that my family has had. The Boys and Girls Club have molded them to be the kind of people that they are, the friendships that they have maintained and started. It just, again, as a mom, that makes it, you know, amazing. It's just a great community with the Boys and Girls Club.
You belong. You belong. You belong. You belong.
We belong. The Chassie family belongs at the Boys and Girls Club. Absolutely.
I belong. My grandkids belong. The whole family belongs at the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending the event this morning. For those of you who do not know me, my name is George Zemas. I've been on the board of directors for the past 11 years. I also work for Morgan Stanley locally. Manchester, for me, represents a very special place, and I want to showcase how it has personally, professionally, and purposefully impacted my life, and how the Manchester Boys and Girls Club is an essential institution and why we should continue to support it. That's my goal here today. Personally, my parents, just like so many other immigrants at the time, migrated from Greece to Manchester during the 1970s. They came to Manchester in the hopes of providing a better life for themselves and for their families. With the burden of assimilating to new culture and living in a foreign land, they worked tirelessly at the Pandora Mill buildings right behind me. I often think about how difficult it must have been coming to a foreign land, not knowing the language, and not knowing a lot of people. I was born at CMC Hospital in Manchester. Growing up as an inner city child, right up the hill here on Lake Avenue, you quickly realize the opportunities and the challenges that the city presents. For example, I remember very vividly coming home one day and realizing that we were just robbed. It's a feeling that I hope most kids would never have a chance to experience. Despite this, we persevered and we used it as an opportunity to define who we wanted to be. As a young adult, I began my strong work ethic working at Creamland, of all places, on Valley Street. I think I still hold the unofficial record for most onions peeled in one day. Trust me, it takes years for that smell to go away. Hard work and doing the right things come with the territory in this city. It instills a sense of pride and accomplishment. I received my secondary and post-secondary education from Manchester. I'm proud to be a Manchester Central High School graduate. We're all familiar with the iconic St. George Greek Orthodox Cathedral and the Assumption Greek Orthodox Church on Island Pond Road. Those institutions have been my foundation for my spirituality. We used to play basketball at the St. George basketball court, and in my head, I was the original Greek freak. Not Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks, but George Zemas from Manchester. And I remember one day very vividly, the Manchester Boys and Girls Club came into town, whooped our butts, served me a slice of humble pie. But it wasn't the defeat that I remembered from that day. It was how special those kids talked about the club, how special that BGCM family was to them. Their camaraderies, their stories, it was a small preview of what was to come. Professionally, I lived in Boston for a few years, but I was always longing for the opportunity to return back to Manchester. despite having the ability to travel all across the United States. I received my opportunity to return back to this city, and today, not only do I live in Manchester, but I work alongside my wonderful business partners on Elm Street. I have not looked back. My identity and my heritage is tied directly to the city. I think about all the people, both past and present, that have carried me to get me to this point in my life. Yeah, sure, some of it was luck, some of it's saying yes, some of it's opportunity, some of it's just plain grit. But I attribute a lot of that success to local community, culture, and fostering connections. This is important. Humans, by nature, are social creatures, and they crave connections and community. In fact, scientifically, the more social human beings are, the longer they live. And given the right set of circumstances, they can excel even against uncertain odds. Think about some of the iconic institutions that I've mentioned here this morning and that have shaped my life. Central High School, Pandora Mill Buildings, St. George, CMC, and even, yes, the iconic Creamland. Those truly have shaped me. But there's one institution that trumps all those, the Manchester Boys and Girls Club. The Manchester Boys and Girls Club fosters that sense of community and belonging for all of these children. The older I get and the more I mature, allegedly, you start to realize what's actually important in this life. Yeah, I think about some personal possessions. Would it stink to lose some personal possessions? Yeah, but you would quickly grow to live without them. But what if certain institutions like the Manchester Boys and Girls Club went away? What would that do to this community? Would it matter? What would happen to these kids? Where would they go? What opportunities, what connections would they lose? I can answer that very vividly by looking around at the thousands of club kids that this club has served over the past 100 years. That's why it's our duty today to keep it thriving. This leads me to purpose, my third P. I joined the board to get reacquainted with the board over 10 years ago. And in my hometown. It's become so much more than that. We've all seen today with these small vignettes and these stories what this organization does for this city. It's a critical institution to making sure that it's built into the fabric of the city. Table captains, at this time, you should have packets in front of you. I ask you to distribute out those donation forms. Let's take a minute to distribute that out. Table guests, in front of you, you should be receiving a donation form. Please take a moment to review the donation form. I'm asking you today to financially support this institution. Any generosity that you give today is very much appreciated, but let me highlight one very important option: the Champion for Kids option. By committing to be a champion for kids today, you would be committing $1,000 per year for the next 5 years. That breaks down to $83 per month. I know many of you in this room today are already champion for kids, and sincerely, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not, please consider signing up to be a champion for kids. And let me highlight a few of the ways that your financial commitment would go to support. First, let's talk about the ABC program. The pandemic has upended ways that children learn. We're seeing children struggle with reacquainting themselves back into the classroom. The ABC program at the Learning Center within the Boys and Girls Club provides tutoring and educational resources to help kids succeed. What a wonderful resource to further enhance educational initiatives. Number 2, the STEAM Lab. You need to come check this room out. It's unbelievable. This room is filled with computers, electronics, Legos, 3D printers, art, and other programs. It has all the tools and the resources needed to foster engagement in science, technology, engineering, art, and math. You think about the inspiration that happens in a room like this. We could be supporting the next Bill Gates or Marie Curie. Last time I was in there, they needed to peel me away. I was so enthralled. I'm not sure. Did they call security? They might have called security. I don't know. Maybe. Let's talk about the Zen Den. Imagine a safe, healthy, calming place. Imagine a place solely dedicated to allowing kids to come in and gather their thoughts. Imagine a place where children had access to local community partners in order to help them work through their anxieties and stressors, just like each and every one of us. This is a critical age to make sure children are supported. And that's what you get with the Zen Den. A safe space where kids can come in and recharge. Admittingly, on tough stock market days, I've reached out to Diane and I've said, Diane, can I use the Zen Den? And Diane, in her calming, soothing voice, says, it's for the kids. By a show of hands, who here has visited Camp Foster? That's incredible. Thank you. For those of you who have not visited Camp Foster, imagine inner city kids having the ability to connect with nature. Camp Foster is a newly renovated facility right outside of our city limits. It's remarkable. A summer-long program where children can swim, play, laugh, create arts and crafts, capture bugs, eat bugs, hiking, boating, and canoeing. You heard from the Keystone Club today. This program provides leadership development opportunities for young people. These youth participate in activities that focus on academic success, career preparation, and community service. You think about what a great stepping stone this is to be the next community leaders. The club has a comprehensive food program. Most people aren't aware of this. Food insecurity in our city is a growing problem, especially with inflation. The club serves hot breakfast and dinner each and every day. Having a full stomach before class improves success. It's been proven. You can't learn on an empty stomach. In addition to that, the club has generous partners like Hannaford's and the New Hampshire Food Bank to offer a food pantry. Listen to this. This is incredible. Each Friday, club kids and their families can walk up to the club, no stigma attached, no questions asked, and get access to fresh meats, vegetables, canned goods, pastas, and snacks. What an unbelievable game changer. In fact, I saw this firsthand last Friday when I visited the club. They were bringing in all this food in the lobby, and sure enough, at the end of the line, Antonio's there with a package of onions, and my PTSD kicked in again. I started screaming for the Zen Den. Finally, let's not forget about a robust performing arts program and a comprehensive athletics program. This is a small sample of what this organization does. Each of these programs are designed to encourage kids to be who they want to be, when they want to be, and share those experiences with whoever they want to share those experiences with. It's incredible to see this all function in real time. It's like a honeycomb, and somehow it all works. For those of you who have not had a chance to come see the Union Street location, I encourage you to please set up a tour, and I will personally take you on this tour. That is what your financial commitment here today helps to support, this wonderful community. In closing, in my field, we're often asked by clients what kind of rate of return they can expect to receive given their investment. It's a logical question that most people would want to have answered. I explained to them very clearly, past performance is no guarantee of future results. We've all heard that expression before. Today, however, I can stand in front of you and make one unequivocal guarantee. By making a financial investment to the Manchester Boys and Girls Club, you're giving the kids the opportunity to grow and foster relationships with themselves, other peers, and most importantly, this community. That is the purpose. If you want to see it all come together, please join me at Awards Night in June or the Youth of the Year event. Those events will truly change your life in terms of how this club impacts those children. I can guarantee, and I don't use those words lightly, that your generosity will continue to foster these connections and provide a positive rate of return for each one of these boys and girls that you've seen here today and the hundreds back at the club that the club serves each and every day. That, my friends, is the true definition of compound interest. And that is the purpose. On behalf of the board, the staff, and most importantly the kids, thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to go off script. We don't need this anymore today. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your continued support for our kids, their families. Every time we have this event, I'm overwhelmed by the generosity, the friendship, and the love that you have for our children, for our Manchester community. And my commitment to all of you today is we will continue to evolve and expand our programs because we know it's making a difference. I want to thank Catherine for her powerful speech today and just who she is. Thank you, Catherine. George, if you need the Zen Den this week, you can come and visit. Thank you so much for your powerful speech today. You're amazing. And just a special shout out, I have family here today, and it means the world to me that you all being here. So thank you for being here, and have a great day, and share this experience with others. Thank you.